అట్లాగే
చెప్పండి సార్.
నమస్తే సార్, సివియర్ సార్.
ఓకే సార్.
కళ్యాణ్ సార్, ఏం జిమ్ నుంచి వచ్చినావా? కళ్యాణ్ సార్ లుకింగ్ లైక్
జిమ్ బంద్ సార్ ఇప్పుడు.
చూడండి
సార్, ప్లీజ్ స్విచ్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ వీడియో సార్. బెటర్
వీడియో సార్.
ప్లీజ్.
So, good morning to one and all. I welcome to the webinar on Lean Startup and Minimum Viable Product given by one of our faculty, Mr. Harnath sir. And I welcome all the other head of the departments and all the non-teaching staff for this webinar along with the students. So, I request our HOD sir to speak some words, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sai Pawan. I take it a privilege to welcome our senior professor, Sri V. Nageswara Garu, my dear colleagues, and teachers from other faculty from other departments, non-teaching staff, dear students, to today's webinar on Lean Startup Manufacturing. Our distinguished faculty from our department, Sri V. Harnath Garu. Initially, when we thought about this program, we thought, why don't we consider a person from our department himself? And we found out that Mr. V. Harnath is having the right kind of profile. He's having a lot of industry experience, very rich and vast experience, especially in the areas of manufacturing. And also, he holds an MBA, and he also has some management experience, apart from his rich, about 10 years academic experience. We thought he's the right candidate for this webinar, and I thank Harnath sir for accepting our invitation and to deliver the lecture on today's very important topic. As we all know, lean startup, normally we think of all manufacturing industries or any other industry as to procure resources, so that they keep the wastage to the minimum, have very low raw materials, stocked up, so that the overheads are going to minimize. And lean startup is also one such kind of methodology, but normally this is aimed at developing business and products which aim to reduce their product development cycle and launch a product for which there is a lot of hungry or market demand is there. The moment you launch it, people are going to lap up your product. So that is the kind of methodology that is usually adopted for this. And our Harnath sir is going to take us through for the next 1 hour on the various aspects on this topic. And I thank our principal, Dr. Hanumantrao Garu, our management, for giving us permission to conduct this program. Over to Harnath sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sai Pawan and Kishore sir, for giving me a nice introduction to the audience. I hope all of you are doing well in this pandemic situation. I pray God for a healthy future for all of you. And let us go to the topic, that is lean startup and minimum viable product. Pawan,
Sir, before starting, is PPT visible for everyone, sir?
Yeah,
Visible, sir. Visible.
Make it full screen, sir, if possible.
Sir, maximize it.
Full screen on, sir.
Slide show పెట్టండి.
Single slide రాలేదు.
Keep slide show.
Zoom.
Slide show పెట్టండి sir. Maybe F5 or something shortcut.
F5. Harnath sir కొంచెం లీవ్ టెక్నికల్ ఆన్ జాయిన్ అయ్యారు రైట్.
సార్ మీ మొబైల్లో ఆన్ చేస్తే మొబైల్లో మ్యూట్ చేయండి సార్. రెండు పక్కన పక్కన పెడితే ఈకో సౌండ్ వస్తుంది.
మొబైల్ ఆఫ్ చేసేసి, మొబైల్ ఎందుకు, మొబైల్ ఆఫ్ చేసేయండి.
సార్ పెడతారా? అన్నా సార్ మీరు ప్రెజెంట్ చేస్తారా నేను ప్రెజెంట్ చేయమంటారా పీపీటీ?
present చేయండి.
పవన్ ప్రెజెంట్ చేయండి.
Stop presenting then.
Is it okay?
ఇది ఓకే సార్?
Yes, sir. Please press F5, sir.
Full
Please
screen.
press F5.
F5.
ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ ఉంది సార్ నా దాంట్లో ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ ఉంది.
మాకు మటుకు అంతా కనిపించట్లేదు సార్. మాకు మొత్తం అన్ని కనిపిస్తుంది. PPT అంతా కనిపిస్తుంది, ఇంక్లూడింగ్ యువర్ సైడ్ నోట్ అంతా అన్ని కనిపిస్తుంది. ఎవరు ప్రజెంట్ చేస్తున్నారు సార్ ఇది?
నేనే చేస్తాను.
సాయి పవన్ ప్రెజెంట్ చేస్తున్నాడు సార్.
మీ దగ్గర ఎఫ్ఐ కొట్టండి.
Otherwise Zoom cycle.
లేదు
కనిపిస్తుందా సార్?
లేదు, ఎఫ్ఐ కొట్టలేదు మీరు. ఎఫ్ఐ కొడితే మారట్లా.
చేంజ్ అయింది, వెళ్ళిపోయింది.
Or go to function F5, sir. Or otherwise, yes, sir.
ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ యట్. సార్ యూ కెన్ స్టార్ట్ సార్.
Okay now? Is it now okay?
Yeah, it is visible, sir. It is visible, sir. No issues. It is visible.
లేదు పవన్
But
కింద ఫ్లవర్ ప్యాకెట్ లాగా ఒకటి ఉంది, దాన్ని
నాకు ఇక్కడ ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ చూపిస్తుంది డైరెక్ట్ గా మొత్తం.
సరేలేండి, ఓకే, క్యారీ ఆన్.
మీరు నాకు పంపించండి సార్, మెయిల్ పెట్టండి. ఈ లోపల మీరు కంటిన్యూ చేయండి ఇఫ్ పాసిబుల్. మెయిల్ కూడా పెట్టండి మీరు.
Yeah. So we have assembled here for a small talk on lean startup and minimum viable product. So what is the lean startup or minimum viable product? So it is a methodology for a successful startup. The process by which we can venture into a startup and proceed towards a successful venture. So though on various platforms we are talking about entrepreneurs and entrepreneurism, but still many people are not coming forward to take up entrepreneurship as a career. What may be the reason for this? So the main reason, though the funds are available, every infrastructure is available, still people are not coming forward to take up the entrepreneurship. The reason being the risk of failure. So many people fear that you may not be successful in the entrepreneurship journey. So that is the main reason which is pulling the people back and venture into a entrepreneurship. But with given a minimum training or exposure to entrepreneurship, it is quite possible that everyone can take up this entrepreneurship as a career path. Okay, so if you see what are the 5 reasons usually that is holding back the people towards entrepreneurship. Go next, first slide. On.
వచ్చాను సార్ స్లైడ్. అప్ 5 reasons.
Slide 2.
Pawan sir, might be you shared window, not entire screen. That's why.
Yeah, now it is okay. So what are the reasons why the project usually fail to deliver the promised ROI? ROI is return of investments. So it is lack of business alignment, okay, and poorly defined requirements. If you are not able to correctly judge what is needed in the market, then also.
Arna sir, kindly excuse me, sir. Sai Pawan sir, if you can kindly stop presenting, I will present, sir.
Oh, okay, sir.
Please. Now is it visible, sir? All of you?
Now it is fine, sir. Now it is fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. మీరు చెప్పండి సార్, I'll move the slides sir to next one as when you are ready.
Yeah, next slide, sir. First, before. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So it is the 5 reasons why the usually projects fail is because of the listed out reasons. It is lack of business alignment, the totally different requirements. The market is demanding one thing and we come out with a different proposal. That is maybe the one reason. Stakeholders are not engaged because all the team, it is not a single person who will be leading an organization. It is group of people. So they are not engaged. They are, don't work for a common objective. Then also a project may fail. So lack of focus. And if there is any changes are required, if you cannot adopt such a change at a faster pace, then also there is a possibility that the organizations or the startups that may fail. So here I want to give a small example why the projects usually fail. Next. So here if you see this picture, as I said, the 42% of, if you see the statistical analysis, 42% of organizations fail because they don't judge the market need properly, correctly. Okay. So if you see this picture, it will be more clear. So this is the last picture, what it is displayed here. This is what desired by the customer. And the project proposal prepared is here, but the ultimately delivered, what is delivered to the customer is this. So there is quite deviation from what is desired and what is delivered. So because of this lack of focus on customer needs, many of the projects or many of the startups usually fail. So what is the solution? What we should do? So any startup or any organization, it depends upon the teamwork, team management. So if you take a race, both horse and jockey has to work together. Only then they can reach the target. Okay. If the jockey drives the request in one direction at one pace and horse is not cooperating, then also they cannot reach the target. The same is the case with when you are leading in an organization. It is not that only the founder can drive the organization. You should also take the help of his team because everyone has got their own skills in their individual fields. So team management is a must when you want to lead a successful organization. Even if you take the case of Infosys or TCS, it is not the Infosys founder, the Murthy, but it is entire team which has led to the success of Infosys. Is it not? Okay. Next slide. So how to overcome this mess? How to overcome this problem? So you have to address your process or procedure and you try to minimize waste at every stage. Try to find out what is the waste that is being created, whether it may be in the product or it may be in the process or it may be during the marketing stage, wherever it may be. You have to try to reduce the waste. Okay. So what is Lean Startup? Avoid this. It focuses on testing and actively working with the potential customers to help you a product or service they need. So Lean Startup methodology is basically aims at to save time, money. So in a nutshell, we can say on resources, how to minimize the resources and how you can deliver the needed customer needed requirement. Okay. So this Lean Startup methodology was coined by name was coined by Eric Rice. He created the Lean Startup methodology. So his strategy is to tell if your business model is practical and it helps with the developing products or services. So in his review, he says that this concept can be applied both at the design stage and also at the marketing stage. So how it is different from your traditional method? So we are talking about Lean Startup methodology and we said that it basically depends upon how to minimize waste of the resources. So with the minimum wastage of resources, you should be able to deliver the needed product to the customer. Okay. So, and how it is different from the traditional method. The next step. So, what is traditional method? If you look at the traditional method, the traditional method thinks about it proceeds like this. You usually study the market and you prepare a business idea, and based upon that idea, you create a plan. You approach any banker or a venture capitalist or angel investors for funding. Then you start the building up the business and you come out with a product. That product you carry to the market. At no stage, once you have identified the idea, you never try to find out whether you are going in the right direction. That is not, you are not doing in a traditional method. Okay, you have taken up an idea and you have, all your resources are invested in that business idea to come out with a product. So during this process, lot of wastage may be created, the resource wastage. So the resource may be your time, money, your team members' labor, whatever it may be. So what lean startup says is, you try to, at every stage, you try to get the feedback from your customers. That is how your lean startup method works out. So next slide. So what is lean startup? So the lean startup, basically it has taken its roots from the Deming wheel. That is how it has taken its birth. So what is Deming wheel? Most of you will be knowing what it is Deming wheel. This same principle is even adopted in our system also, college administration system. That is PDCA. So what is PDCA? Plan, do, check and act. So at every stage, this is a continuous cycle, or otherwise we can say continuous improvement. So when we want to have a continuous improvement, you should strictly follow this Deming wheel. So what it says, initially you plan, then develop, then continuously check. Based upon the checking process, if you find any lacuna in your system, in your product or in your process, then you have to act and the cycle again repeats. That is how you can proceed towards a continuous improvement. So it is a feedback loop system. Okay, so it is a method used to find a new company. So what is a lean startup? It is basically based upon continuous improvement, and the foundation is on PDCA, that is Deming wheel, which is adopted in many industries across Japan and later adopted by Indian industries also. So basically here, gauging the customer interest, we have to continuously focus on customer and we have to find what is needs to be the customer. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So the lean startup should not be based upon any assumptions or your simple, it should be a simple version of your product. Okay, you don't add all the features desired initially before you venturing into a business. Okay, you have to add minimum features and you try to bring it to the market, get the feedback from the customers. Then, based upon the feedback given by the customer, again refine your product so that ultimately, when you are delivering the actual product, it will be accepted. You will not feel the shock of the non-acceptance of your product. Okay. So it should not be based on assumptions. Create a simple version. You have to create a simple version so that it can, your investment will be minimum. Or it focuses on customer related information such as customer generate, whether they are sticking to your product to the lifetime, there is any value to the product as pursued by the customer. Okay, experimentation is favored. So instead of depending upon the traditional laid out plan, you have to do the little bit of experimentation. What is that experimentation? You have to build a minimum product, bring it to the market, find whether it is being accepted in the market. Based upon the feedback, again you do the necessary rework on the product and bring out a refined product. That is what is an experimentation. So it is a small form of a early concept product. It is you are bringing out a product which is a prototype model. Okay, with the minimum features. Okay, next slide, sir. So what it is, so it is basically dependent upon optimization. So most of you have come across this word optimization. What is it? Optimization, maximization of your benefit and minimization of cost or minimization of effort, whatever we are putting in order to bring the product. So basically optimization. With minimum effort, you have to bring the product that can deliver maximum value to the customer. Okay. So the roots of this lean startup is basically from lean manufacturing system adopted by Toyota car manufacturing company in Japan. After seeing the success of the lean manufacturing system in Toyota, many American companies also have adopted this methodology. And later also slowly the same concept is being adopted by the Indian industries also. So the lean startup basically focuses upon avoiding wastage. The Japanese term for waste is what is MUDA, M-U-D-A. Next slide, sir. So what is MUDA? The lean manufacturing system considers waste as an expenditure of resources for any goal other than creation of value for the end customer. So it basically lean manufacturing system basically focuses on how to avoid waste at every stage, right from the procurement of raw material to the delivery of the product to the customer, and then and further service to the that is being delivered to the customer. So at every stage, we try to avoid this wastage. So the Japanese term for this wastage is MUDA. So the lean startup basically depends upon MUDA and Kanban parts. Okay, so it may be waste may be generated in numerous ways. It can be waste of time, waste of transportation, waste of processing, or waste of stock at hand, waste of movement within the organization, material movement within the organization, waste of making defective products. Okay, if you produce defective products, then you have to spend time in identifying segregating the defective products, then reworking on it. So everything, once it is reworked means it is not of the best quality. Always there will be some defect in this. Similarly, it also depends upon Kanban cards. So what is Kanban? So if you, for example, if you go to any supermarket, you will see display boards displayed at in every rack, whatever whether it is a product or whether it is a group of items. So why that kind of a system is adopted? So that it is easy to trace the product. There will not be any mix-up. Okay, the same thing. So it is taken up from the industry scenario situation. So even in an industry, you will find, if they are adapting this Kanban methodology, you will find out job cards or identification cards. Just like we have, you carry identity card when you are entering a college. Here also, when you are processing a material, they are identified with the cards. So the Japanese term for this identification card is called as Kanban cards. So raw material is identified as a so and so raw material. In-process material is identified as it is in-process material. Finished goods are identified with a suitable card. So by having this kind of a identification, your wastage or inventory can be brought down. Okay, there is, and the scope of any mistake or error will also come down. Okay, so mistakes or imperfections during processing or assembly, all this can be brought down. So your lean manufacturing method basically depends upon these two concepts. So the core key requirement is to reduce waste, minimize your inventory so that your operation cost or production cost may come down. So your lean startup is basically depends upon this concept, lean manufacturing concept. Okay, which is initiated by Toyota car manufacturing company in Japan, later adopted by across the world. Okay, next. So what are the 3 steps involved for in a lean startup? So it basically the 3 steps involved are build, measure, and learn. So you have to build the product with the minimum features. Okay, and don't incorporate what all promised to the customer at the when you are during the ideation stage. You have to understand the customer mood, whether he is if you bring out the product, whether he is in a position to accept your product. That you have to understand. Unless you do the necessary market analysis research, you cannot come out. So it is the 3 steps are build, measure, and learning from your market survey. So here one small example I want to quote. When you want to venture into any business, your barriers to entry and barriers to exit also should be minimum. So what do you mean by barrier to entry and barrier to exit? So barrier to entry means what are the complexities that is involved, that is that you need to overcome when you want to enter into a business. That is called as a barrier to entry. It may be a complex process, it may be a complex product, it can be complex marketing strategy that you want to adopt. So you don't at the first stage you don't go for such kind of a heavy complex business process. You try to minimize your complexity so that your entry becomes easy. So okay, similarly that also your barrier to entry will be minimum. Similarly, when you venture into a business, in the middle of the business, if you see that your business is not going in the right direction, it is going to fail. You should not have that nostalgical feeling that I have started this business at any cost. I have to run this business for at least for 30 or 40 years, even if I am making losses. That kind of a nostalgical feeling you should not have. So there should be a barrier to exit also should be minimum. Means if at any stage, if you are seeing that business is not doing well, it is not going in the right direction, you should try to treat the business and adopt a new method or change your direction and go for a new methodology. So that barriers to entry and barriers to exit should be minimum for any business startup that you are trying to venture into. Okay, that is we are trying to adopt. Okay, next slide, please. So if you see here, this is the learning cycle. So your idea or hypothesis, you are coming out with a basic business idea or any hypothesis. Then you experiment it with a minimum resources. Then if it is successful, you be in the business. Or if you are not successful, or if you are finding any difficulty, or if you want some modification, you adopt that modification at the initial stage itself, at the intermediate stage itself. Don't bring the final product, investing all your resources. Then at the last minute, if you find that it is not being accepted in the market, then it will be a huge loss to you, and which is hard to recover. So when it is idea or hypothesis means, here hypothesis means, let us say, I am doing a business in an Indian market. I am successful in Indian market. So the hypothesis, because I am successful in this Indian market, if I go into some other foreign market, I will be successful. That is the hypothesis. So you need to test that hypothesis with by adopting this lean startup methodology. Okay, before going into too many field customers, you start with a single country. If you find it successful, then you go for 2 or more countries. That is a hypothesis testing. Whether it is a product or if you want to test hypothesis, for both the cases, we can adopt this lean startup methodology. Okay. Next. So here, whatever it is, the lean startup methodology, it is basically it is upon speed. So you have to whether you are bringing the product into the market, there should be speed. Or if you want to quit from the business also, there should be a speed. So how it will be possible? Only if there is barriers to entry and barriers to exit are at the minimum. Otherwise, it is both difficult to enter into the business, and once you enter into the business, it is also difficult to quit from that business if the barrier to exit is not at the minimum stage. Okay, so in order to overcome all this problem, we have to continuously try to measure by understanding the customer requirement at every stage, and you continuously try to learn about your product. Okay. So the build, measure, learn loops emphasizes speed as the critical ingredient for customer development. So speed is a catchword here. Okay, when you are entering into the business, there should be a speed. When you are bringing into the product, there should be speed. Otherwise, by the time you bring the product into the market, there may be a competitor who have captured your market. That is also a problem. That difficulty is also there. Okay, so once you have visualized that so and so product can meet my customer, then you bring that product with the minimum features and at a faster pace. Okay. Similarly, if you how you can be build your product when you are building a product, what is basically needed is empathy. That is the main word which can drive your business. So what is empathy? You are thinking in the shoes of the customer. That is what is called as empathy. Okay. You have to think that you are the customer, and I am, when you are given the product, how I can use that product, whether it will be useful for the value, the money that I am paying. Is it giving me a value for my product? So that is how. So you have to think in those terms when you are delivering a product. You should not think as a businessman. You should also think in the shoes of the customer. That is what is called as empathy. So if you build your product keeping this empathy in your mind, then your product will be definitely successful. Okay. Let us say I am designing a mouse. When I am designing a mouse for the older people. Okay. So when you are designing a mouse for the older people, they may find it difficult to hold the mouse, to move the mouse. So you have to think in their requirement of the old people, and you have to suitably design a mouse. Okay, that is what is designing your custom products, keeping empathy in mind. Okay. So the build, measure, lean, low emphasizes the speed as the critical. And so what is effectiveness? It is determined to ability to ideate, quickly build a minimum viable product. So you have to build your product quickly, bring that into the market, understand the market properly, whether take the feedback given by the customer positively, and improve the effectiveness of your product. Okay, that is how you can be successful in any startup. So we are turning ideas into products, measuring the product features by bringing it to the customer and taking the feedback from the customers, and you have to react to the feedback given by the customers against the build product, and then we have to refine based upon the knowledge that you have gained from the customer feedback. That is, so it is from ideas you build a product, then you measure that product, then from the data what you are getting from the measurement, you have to learn and refine your product. So that is basically what is lean startup and the steps involved in a lean startup. That is build, measure, and learn. Okay, next, sir. So building. So how to build a product? So as I said, you have to keep empathy in mind when you are defining or building a product. Similarly, when you are venturing into a market, you have to understand to what kind of a market category segment you are bringing that product into. So market segmentation is required. So if I am selling, let us say I want to bring a new biscuit into the market. Okay. So if I am catering to the requirements of older people, I may be bringing a product catering to their requirement. Let us say digestive biscuits or sugar-free biscuits. Similarly, if I produce a sugar-free biscuit and I try to capture children market, it may not work. When it is when I'm producing a product catering to the children market segment of children, then it may be of a different product category. Is it not? I have to add some flavor to it. I have to add some jam to it in order to attract the children. So the same product, a digestive biscuit, cannot capture the market catering to the children. So I have to do the market segmentation. You call it as a niche market. With what kind of a market my product is trying to cater to. Similarly, the same product can be you can bring different products to the different market segments. Like if it is if I take the case of a car, if you are producing, you can capture a high-end segment, or it can be a middle income group, okay, or low income group. If you take the case of Nano, it is to cater for the need of a lower income group. Is it not? They have come out with a concept that product costs only 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh. So why they are trying to capture the lower income segment or middle income segment? So when you are building a product, all this has to you have to do the necessary research before bringing a product into the market. Okay, that is what the learning that you have to get from the market research. Okay, next slide, sir. So here, example, I am given one example, MEP example. So Jappos, so here they made a good business in the shoe market. So they want to venture into a shoe business, and they want to study how their product will be accepted by the customer. So what did they do? Jappos are in the shoe business, and they also are the early people who have adopted this lean startup concept. Okay, so they are the shoe retailers. So they want to venture into a shoe business. So how did they start their business? So what they did, they went to a local shoe store. They took pictures of the products that is on display, and they put them on online. And based upon the demand from the online market, they went to the shop, procured it, and they started delivering that shoe. At the initial stage, they did not start the shoe business. They did not start the manufacturing facility in the first stage, first to go. So how did they do? They are in the retail business. First, they are in the retail business. They wanted to go for a manufacturing and to establish their business, to grow their business, So what did they do? They immediately did not jump into the manufacturing process. They went to the retailer, took some pictures of that. They posted it on the online. So based upon the demand they are seen on the online, then they come out with a business idea and they started the business. That is how they try to minimize their investment of resources before starting any business. Okay. Next slide, sir. Am I okay up to here? Am I okay up to here, sir?
Yes, sir, you can proceed.
Thank you, sir. So once you bring out a product, then you have to measure its effectiveness. So how do you measure its effectiveness? Whether it is being accepted by the market, that you have to see. What is the feedback they are giving? It may be in the usage of the product, it may be in the features that they are expecting, it may be in the cost wise. Everything can be taken. So if you take one example, many of you have experienced one. When you go to any supermarket, many times you find a stall put up there offering you some samples, cool drink sample. Because they are coming out with a new business, they want to study how the customer, what is the customer preference, how they are reacting with your product. They give you a small sample, a free sample, and ask you to taste it. Based upon your feedback, they take that feedback that is what is called as a customer survey. Okay, so they don't venture into the business on a large scale. So on a small scale, they bring out a product, study the customer market, take the feedback from the customer, then they take it back to their organization, implement that feedback, what ideas or knowledge what they have gained to refine their product. That is what is called as measure. Okay. So it is a common experience with everyone. When you go to any supermarket, people offer some sample to taste. So and they take the feedback from you, okay, about their product, what can be changed, what can be modified, whether its price is okay, everything they take it. Okay, that is what is called as measurement. Okay. Next slide, sir. So once you have customer feedback and data, it is time to decide how to move forward with your idea. So this gives you the necessary knowledge. This customer feedback gives you necessary knowledge. So here, it is not that you are driving your product into the market, but the market is driving your product. Is it not? So you are at every stage, you are trying to, because you are trying to serve, they are the people who are helping your business to grow. Customers are the people who are helping your business to grow. So at every stage, you should keep their interest in mind when you are bringing your product into the market. Otherwise, there will be rejection and you will be nowhere tomorrow in future. Okay. If you want to be in the market for a sufficient long period of time, you have to continuously try to gauge the customer's mood, you have to try to capture the customer requirement on a continuous basis. That is how you can continuously improve. Okay. Even an established business, they do it to bring about, so because no business can survive in a market at an infinite time. For every business, there is a life cycle. Just like we have a death, birth and death, even a company will have birth, maturity and death. So only thing what we can do is we can prolong that lifespan. Okay, how we can prolong that lifespan? If you take the mobile, initially with minimum features, from mobile is brought into the product. Then many features are added in the mobile to extend its life. Okay, initially it was 3G, then 4G, 5G, a double camera, triple camera. Why all this is done? To be in the business for a sufficient long time. So that is how you learn and try to prolong the life of your business. Okay. Next slide, sir. So what is the minimum viable product? So what is minimum viable product? So based upon this cycle, that is build, measure and learn cycle, you are trying to bring out a minimum viable product. So what is it, minimum viable product? It is version of your final product with minimum features involving minimum resources or with minimum investment. Okay, so that is what the minimum viable product is. Okay, so the minimum viable product is, so in the earlier example, JPES also I have given you, before establishing a business, starting a manufacturing business, he brought up a minimum product, that is, they have only displayed, they have taken pictures of the shoes that is displayed in the rack and they have posted it on the online. So that is the minimum product that I have created and they brought it to the customer's notice. So based upon the reaction of the customer's notice, then they have started building up their business empire. Okay. So this term was coined by Robinson and was popularized by the Eric Rice in his book, The Lean Startup. So it is just enough to gather validated learning. So what is that you are doing? You are continuously trying to learn. Then you are trying to refine your product. That is how you are building your product. That is what is called as minimum viable product. So it is a strategy for learning about your customers. It does not mean the minimal product. Only that you are trying to minimize your investment of resources and you are trying to bring the product at a faster pace into the market so that you will learn fast and bring the product fast into the market before your competitor ventures into that particular business. Okay. Minimum amount of effort. So basically, you are trying to reduce waste, reduce effort, or you are reducing the resources investment of resources. That is basic aim of this either a lean startup or minimum viable product. Right? Next slide. So in simple words, what it is a version of new product that includes just a few essential features that allow you to ship a product to the early adopter and get some feedback from them to check your business idea or hypothesis. So startup should know how important it is MVP, minimum viable, before investing major resources in your business model. Okay. So, however, there are different types of MVPs which you can adopt based upon the type of product that you are venturing into. Okay. Next slide, sir. So, what is the purpose of MVP? So, if you see this slide, it will be clear. So, you enter the market with a small budget. That is the basic aim of the MVP, and to minimize the errors. So, how you can minimize error? Because you are on a continuous learning basis. You are bringing a minimum product to the customer. Based upon the feedback given them, you are trying to rectify your product and come out with a product with new features. Okay, and you are trying to create a balance between the company, whatever the company that is able to offer, and the customer needs or requirements, and to find the right market. And also you are trying to find that is what is called market segmentation. Whether your product is able to meet the right kind of a market or not. That you are trying to analyze. And you are trying to achieve maximum feedback from the market. So by adopting this method, you are trying to minimize the error, or you are trying to minimize the risk of failure in your business. Okay. Because any business, we cannot say it is risk-free. There is minimum amount of risk involved. You should try to find ways and means how to minimize the risks. Okay. Next. So I said, based upon the type of business that you are adopting, you can adopt a different MVPs based upon the business that you have ventured into. So how to select it? Choosing the type for your particular hypothesis verification, you should consider what is the risk involved, how you could check it, how much time do you have, how much resources you have, what makes the most sense in your care, which of the hypothesis validation strategy would bring your startup to the next level. So all these things you need to keep in mind when you are designing a right MVP. So MVP means, as I said in an example, one MVP may be bringing a sample to your customer and trying to judge it, or one MVP may be developing a prototype instead of developing a final product, and you try to find what is the customer reaction. So like that, there are different kinds of MVPs which you can adopt based upon your business type. Okay, next slide. Yeah, customer interviews is one MVP. You can continuously interview your customers. Customer feedback can be sought. Okay, survey, otherwise interview, or you can call it as a survey. That is one method by which you can have the necessary learnings. Similarly, user story. You put on a video the experiences of the user of a particular product. So that story can be displayed on a video, so that many customers can watch it and have the experience of using that particular product. That is one kind of a MVP. Digital prototypes. Bring the product on a digital platform, and you tell what is the product that you are trying to bring up, what are the features incorporated in the product, how customer needs are satisfied by that particular product. So here you are not bringing the product right away. You are just creating a product on a digital platform and trying to assess the customer mood. Okay, paper prototypes. Okay, similarly, explaining videos, ad campaigns, conducting micro survey, having a 3D model and showing how it performs, what needs it can meet. So these are various approaches which you can adopt. Next slide, sir. So wizard of OZ. So this is one more MVP. So real working product, but you manually carry out the product function. So what it is basically mean is, let us say I want to start a catering business. Okay, so before venturing into catering business, or what do you call it as a curry point, let us say. So you don't initially you don't start the curry point. You first you go to the customer, take his requirement, and carry that requirement to any person who is already in that business. You give them the requirement. So customer, you are trying to build a product that is very customer specific. That is what. So here you are not building the product right away. You are trying to get the feedback from the customers. Based on that feedback given by the customer, you are trying to build your knowledge. So based upon the knowledge acquired, then you will start up into a real venture. Okay, that is what the Wizard of OZ is. Here you are not bringing the product right away once you decide to venture into a career point. You are going to a customer, getting his requirements, and go to it, like just like your Zomato, whatever they're doing. So if the delivery boy himself wants to start a business, he will know what are the requirements of customer. He has the necessary learnings, is it not? Here are also crowdfunding MVP. So here, what is crowdfunding MVP? Your idea you are putting up on a internet and showcasing your product, and the necessary funding you are getting from the customer themselves. You are not investing in a single rupee here. That is what is called crowdfunding MVP. So crowdfunding MVP could be described as selling it before you build it. The idea is very simple. Launch a crowdfunding campaign on platforms or any other platform and raise money to create a product. So for the best effort, you will need to create a prototype or demo video. So you will be creating only a demo video, raise money, then based upon with that investment, you can start your business. That is what is called a crowdfunding MVP. So these are the various approaches which you can adopt under MVP category. Okay. Next slide, sir, please. So what are the benefits? If you see what are the benefits, so you are emphasizing on key requirement of the customer. You are focusing on without deviating upon features that you are incorporating in your product. So the key development is you will incorporate those features whatever is demanded by the customer. Okay. So you are getting learnings, that is insights, and through the feedback system. So at every stage you are adopting feedback system in order to get the necessary learnings or insights. Okay, and we are adopting early stage testing before instead of producing a product, delivering into the market, and then experiencing a shock if it fails in the market. You are at every stage you are trying to test your product at every stage. That is early stage testing. Before you bringing the final product into the market, you are trying to test your product. So thereby you are trying to minimize your cost or resource investment. Okay, and thus, as I said, speed is involved. You are trying to build your product quickly. That is quick development of your product, and you are trying getting the market validation. Market validation is whether your product is accepted in the market or not. You are trying to check at every stage, right from the procurement to building and delivery stage. Next, sir. So if you see some of the examples who have top business houses who have adopted this minimum viable product process is the Facebook, Twitter, and Amazon. So if you take the Facebook, it was done just to connect the students. So the Facebook was basically created to connect students, college students, through a way of messaging. But it was later adopted by every individual. Is it not? Facebook now the market reach of Facebook is around 2.6 billions. Okay, even they have adopted this MVP. Facebook also have adopted MVP. Similarly, Twitter and also Amazon. Amazon, it was started in '94. It was actually created to sell the books. Okay, based upon, and they have adopted this MVP business process. Okay. Originally, the focus was on only selling the books online, but now you see they have ventured into e-commerce business and doing a great business. Is it not? From a small venture, they established a big empire, Amazon. Okay. So even all these people have adopted this MVP process. Okay. Next, sir. Thank you. So I hope I have made the topic clear to everyone. I hope what are the knowledge that I have shared to you, it will be helpful for you. Anyone one of you, if you want to start a business, hope this learnings will be helpful to you. And thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable speech.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harna Garu, and I appreciate your new kind of subject in which you are entering, and you have very vividly described all the lean startup principles. And I should say that you continue this and give your lectures or this kind of special lectures at some other forums also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable feedback.
But I wonder,
Nice presentation, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
thank you, sir.
It's a nice, sir. Nice, sir. You were saying something?
yeah, I was always wanted to question every expert who is talking on this subject. What is the minimum level of a startup? How much is the capital? Of course, it depends on the type of business you are telling. But according to government, let us say if I am starting a startup with the help of Telangana government, how much do they think that a minimum level? Capital. There is no limit like that. There is no. That means if I want to start a e-business, so software programming, etc. Do you think 1 lakh is the minimum investment which is required?
That's what, sir. As I said, the resources can be planned. Whatever the business that you are trying to build, it can be built based upon the resources that you have got. That is what the minimum viable product or the lean startup methodology says. We have to match your customer needs with your strengths. That is how you can build your business. So many times, many people they word up from the business plan. Why? Because one of the reasons they quote is I don't have resources, financial constraints, or I don't have necessary skills. So there are at every stage there are methods available. So you can match your customer's need with the strengths that is available with you, and you can slowly build up your business. Okay, whatever the resources, strengths you have got, with that only you can build a minimum product. Need not for you to go on a larger scale. You can start at a minimum stage with a minimum investment. Judge how the business is developing, whether it is proceeding in the right direction. Based upon that, you can further venture into the business on a large scale.
Sir, if you permit me, I'll try to answer this also. Can I, sir?
Yes. Definitely, sir. It is a interactive session only.
Yeah, now as per the government MSME, we talk about MSME, micro, small, medium, and enterprises. Isn't it, sir? So Mudra loans, they are offering 50,000, 1 lakh also. With the 1 lakh, they can do some business. Like retail business, people are doing small business. But as per the definition, earlier it was 25 lakhs for a small scale industry. Today, it is 1 crore investment. out of which 20% subsidy will be provided by the government, sir. So if you rely on the online business, I don't think the investment need not be more, sir. Maybe 1 to 2 lakhs would be sufficient. Only thing is, if you have the capability of developing a software or tying up with the people who are having the software, and you can also share the percentage of the business. Like I have got some products and somebody is having the software. So I'll tell them, sir, I'll give you 10% of my earnings or 20% of earnings. So throughout the year or to some period, we can have that, sir. So that kind of virtual type we can have without having any investment also. Like in that Mozo they have done, no? Sir, like they have taken the photographs and they displayed, and there's no investment at all. So it is only the idea that we can share. Virtually we can do without investment, sir. Yes, I think I've done something. I've added something to this question.
Very good on your part to come forward. And
Idea is you create a platform where you bring the suppliers and the customers on same platform. You don't invest anything in that. You know, you make the right kind of tie-up, and
True,
when
sir.
this is done, then both of them will get money from both sides. That's
Yes,
also
sir.
what I think of.
Thank you, sir.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Saipon, sir.
Sir,
Harna, sir.
Yeah.
This is Sharma. Sir, very good webinar, sir. And thanks for your initiation, for coming forward as an innovation ambassador to deliver this topic, sir. And I have some points, sir. Generally, in the lean startup, once if you frame the rules, if the product is not complete, then it will be just like a feature, and it is not just like a complete product. Sometimes continuous innovation requires a crazy pace of work, so that may demotivate the team also when we frame some rules, principles like this. So how to actually overcome these type of things in the lean startups?
Yeah, but that is how the business is running right now. Okay, earlier if you see, monopoly is the BHL. If you take the case of a BHL, they are in monopoly bringing out various electrical products. But now they are suffering. They are not doing a good business. Why it is they are not able to do the business? Because they are not able to innovate on a continuous basis. Okay, they are not able to meet the customer needs, because customer needs are changing. It is an ongoing process, continuously changing. So I have to match up with their continuous demand. So if I want to be in the business, I have to learn, and I have to incorporate those learnings in my product, so that I can extend my life of my business on a continuous basis. Otherwise, you have to face the natural death. You cannot survive in the market.
Continuous upgradation is the mantra to success.
Upgradation is required. There is no other go.
There's no other option.
Even if you take the case of our, let us say, college itself, you are asked to undergo the so-and-so course. Why it is asked? Why it is being done?
Not only like
You have to
that,
improve your knowledge on a continuous basis.
even the college is going for NBA accreditation and NAC accreditation. These are continuous improvements.
Yeah, that is one case. But on second scale, it is also your responsibility to upgrade your skills on a continuous basis. Okay. Otherwise, there will be no takers for you.
Yes, we have seen several cases of this in the industry, like our ambassador card has seen at Fiat. You know, they had monopoly for centuries, almost decades. Eventually, they had to close down because they could not meet the customer's requirement, nor they could upgrade the technology to meet the new features and all. So eventually, I said it will have its own natural death.
Why? The classic example is your Nokia. Sharma sir. Sharma sir.
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
Yeah, classical example is Nokia.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes if you perfectly frame some rules, if you are not following the rules, somewhere again you have to restructure it, and again there must be the architecture must be reconstructed, and you have to go with some deviation at one stage.
Yeah. You have to reinvent ourselves.
I want to ask another question. In this field, are there any mathematical laws or any formulas or relationships? Now let us say your minimum feature product. So what are the mathematical rules I can build so that I can find out exactly what are the minimum features? Are it by intuition, experience only? This kind of
Sir, I want to answer that
even
question.
Hi Pawan, come forward.
Sir, actually, that is based on innovation accounting, sir, because they have to go for continuous improvement because they want to operate in the conditions of uncertainty. So they have to keeping on going with their leaps of faith, the innovation accounting methods which they want to build up, or like effective indicators they need to have. They need to have a simplicity of presentation. They have to know the market, what is going on, what is worth of doing such effective indicators, bringing into the market. Some data verification and accountability has to be done continuously because it is a feedback loop cycle. There's lean startup. So these are the some of the points which they have to remember. They want a success in the present market scenario, which I feel, sir, actually.
If you see the example of management, sir,
Yeah.
it is a art of science, art and science, is it not? So it is neither purely art, neither purely science. So both has to work together.
But
Your,
there are some rules, there are some mathematical laws in management also. And
may
there are
not
some
work.
attributes, there
Yeah.
are some, let us say, ratios, indices.
Yeah, there are, if you take the finance manager, they will bring out various financial statements, loss and profit and account statement. But only that will not help, is it not? Your basic management skills also required. So it has to, both have to go work hand in glove for the success of the business.
What is the role of marketing, sir, in startups?
Marketing.
Market.
Yeah, the marketing is the market means customers, sir. Customer, they have continuously they try to read the customer's mood, and they have to bring that knowledge into your product.
Customer's mood, okay. I can create a requirement for the customer that if this kind of product is with you, it is good, and what is the advantage that you get. In this case, the marketing is coming forward. So what I mean is advertisement, marketing, how much it should be.
So as Lean Startup says that when you are creating a requirement, you try to judge the mood of the customer, whether they are ready to accept that particular product. That is what it says before building the product. Okay, you are creating a need. Get the customer's feedback, whether they are ready to invest in your product, whether they want to have that product. They are really feeling the need for that product, that you try to measure. Only then you go for the building of that product.
That's what you said in one of the slides, sir, with the minimum financial assistance, how to meet the customer's need. That is one of the major objectives of the Lean Startup.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Sir, what is the product and market fit? What is the meaning of product and market fit? Product and market fit. What is the meaning that the product and market fit in the startup? Because these are the two relation between the product and market, and in the startup. So what is the fit term? Fit may mean like the relation between product and market.
It is again the customer's requirement. You don't build product and try to push the product into the market. You try to judge the customer requirements so that whatever the product that you are trying to build into the model, it can fit into their requirements. That is what the product and product fit. It should be readily acceptable by the market. So how you can build that product unless you know what they need? Yeah, as I said earlier, you were when you are in the monopoly situation, you are the only player in the market, and you are driving the market. But now there are many players in the market. So if you want to be successful in the market, what is the additional features that their customers are expecting? What is that additional they desire? So then you build the product that which can cater to that desire need. Then naturally it will the product whatever you are building, it can fit into that market. Am I clear, sir?
Sir, I have one query. Suppose here when you have to design a product, present day that the technology is going on very fast, rapidly. Suppose I have an idea this year, and next year I have to implement a product. So at that time, already the same similar product will be released. So what is how I means my product is goes in the market. So already is implemented some people. So then if the startup is it is required at that product.
Yeah, well, you have to see what is the customer, is he feeling comfortable with that product, or is he desiring any additional features in that product? Those features can be incorporated in your product. If you take the example of your, let us say, I want to quote a small example, watch. Earlier, when the watch was produced, it was only a mechanical watch. They are giving continuously what it is. They have to continuously give the key. Otherwise it will stop. But still, watch business is existing because they are incorporating many features. Then came the electronic watches. Then the watch has got some gadgets to read your BP, sugar. Like that, they are bringing out additional features in your product. That is how we are sustaining in the market.
Okay.
Sir, if you permit me, I want to add something to this one, sir. Any product, somebody is designing a new product, so that is to be a new product, new in the sense it should not be present. And by keeping in mind about 5 years, at least 5 years to 10 years time, you are to design a product, sir.
Yes, sir.
For example, Nokia phone, they were number one earlier, but they have not updated themselves with the technology that is changing. Now you can see Samsung and other people, 4G, 3G, 4G, 5G, everything is adding on. So they have not added and they are behind the other competitors. So you have to be conscious about the market and you have to add the new features. Sir. Otherwise, survival is a problem.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
design product for one or 2 years, sir.
Sir, yes, sir. After 1 year, the same product it is released in the market. This is the issue in the. Already the product is same, similar product is already existing in the market.
Yes.
So some need some features, extra features to add that product.
Exactly.
So that's what, as I
you
said,
should also have the promotion aspects. You should you be different from the competitors when you promoting the product. That is also place matter. Yes, sir.
Okay.
As I said earlier, the speed is required, sir, before you bringing your product into the market.
Exactly.
You cannot be cozy, laid back attitude.
You should not be in comfort zone. That I have designed a great product and I'll survive. No. You have to constantly update yourself. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, thank you all the participants and the respected faculty, sir, for attending the session. And I especially thank our HOD, sir, senior faculty, and Harnath, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving us a good webinar and good insights on the webinar of the topic of lean startup and minimum viable product. Now I request our Sampath, sir, for please give us for vote of thanks, sir. Over to you, Sampath, sir.
Thank you, Pawan, sir. We have gone through the good session by the Harnath sir about the lean startup and minimal viable product. This is my honor and responsibility to give a vote of thanks. On behalf of Mechanical Department MACS, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar on lean startup and minimum viable product. organized by our institute. At the outset, I thank our resource person, Mr. V. Harnath Garu. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. We are thankful to our college management for their motivation. I would like to thank our principal, beloved Principal Dr. D. Hanumantrao Garu, for his enthusiastic support, and a special thanks to the head of the department, Dr. M. V. Kishore Garu, and organizing committee, teaching staff for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to our students for active participation. With this warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of today's webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sampath sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Kishore.
Thanks, HOD sir, for helping
Congrats
us
to
for
all the
presenting.
team members
Thank you, sir.
for a successful
Conduct.
arrangement of the event, sir. All the best.
Special thanks to our coordinators.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Right,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
All the best.
Good, sir.